Hello students, till now we have completed the basic classification of semiconductors and the calculation of carrier concentration in intrinsic semiconductor. Now today we are going to see one of the important applications of semiconductors, that is an important phenomenon that is called as Hall effect. So today we are going to understand what is mean by Hall effect and what is the Hall coefficient and what it's important. In the next class we are going to see some of the important applications of Hall effect. So today let's try to understand what we mean by Hall effect. To understand the Hall effect, here I am considering a semiconductor block. Let us consider this is a semiconductor block, and in which I am sending some current through this semiconductor block along positive x-axis. That means current is flowing along x-axis. That means we can assume that electrons are moving towards negative x-axis. Simultaneously, I am applying here magnetic field along y-axis. That means I have applied the magnetic field perpendicular to the current flow in the semiconductor. Then what happens? We know that if at all a moving charged particle placed in a magnetic field, it experiences a force called Lorentz force. It experiences a Lorentz force. In this particular semiconductors, electrons are moving along a negative x-axis, and the semiconductor is kept in a magnetic field, and hence it is expected that the electrons are going to be experience the Lorentz force. Because of the Lorentz force, the electrons are going to accumulate on the front surface of your block. That means electrons are actually moving along a negative x-axis. Simultaneously we have applied the magnetic field. Then there exists a Lorentz force. Because of Lorentz force, these electrons are traveled towards this front surface or deflected towards the front surface, and hence they are accumulated on the front face. Now that means we can assume that the positively charged particles are accumulated on the rear face of your semiconductor block. That means what? Here we have created a separation of positive and negative charges in presence of magnetic field. So we are actually produced some electric field. Separation of positive charge and positive charge and negative charge means we have created some, or there is an induce of an electric field. This induced electric field is known as Hall electric field, and this phenomenon is known as Hall effect. What do you mean by Hall effect? If you see, this voltage is also known as Hall voltage, and this Hall voltage or a Hall field, which is because of applied magnetic field on a semiconductor which is perpendicular to the flow of the charged particle within the semiconductors. Now if you see the definition of this Hall effect, when a piece of semiconductor carrying current I is kept in a transverse magnetic field, that means perpendicular magnetic field to the current, then what happens is an electric field will be induced in a direction perpendicular to both magnetic field and current. This electric field we are calling it as Hall field, and the voltage developed is called as Hall voltage. If you see the diagram carefully, current is along x-axis, and the magnetic field is along y-axis, and the field produced, the electric field produced in this Hall effect is along z-axis. That means what? The produced or the induced electric field is perpendicular to both applied magnetic field and the current. This is very, very important that we have to understand. This is the phenomenon called Hall phenomenon or Hall effect. Now let us consider I is the current which is flowing along x-axis, and B is the magnetic field which is applied along y-axis. Then what happens is electrons which are moving along a negative x-axis are going to experience some force called Lorentz force. This force is given by F L bar Fl represents Lorentz force, which is given by Q into V bar cross B bar, where V bar represents velocity of the electron, B bar represents the magnetic field applied. Now, if you write this in a different way, that means in unit vectors, we can write down the same expression as follows. Fl bar is equal to minus E, means charge of the electron, Q is equal to minus E, and V bar means what? The velocity of the electron which is moving towards negative x-axis, along negative axis. That means Vx represents the magnitude of the velocity and x cap represents the unit vector, and minus sign represents that electron is moving towards negative axis. And similarly, if you take By represents the magnitude of magnetic field, whereas y cap represents the applied direction of the magnetic field. Now, if you rearrange this term, minus minus become plus, and Vx and By can be taken out of this bracket because they are constants. And what you will get is Fl bar is equal to E into Vx into By into x cap cross y cap. This x cap cross y cap can be also written as z cap, and hence this is the expression for Lorentz force which will be experienced by the electrons which are moving along negative x-axis. Now, because of this Lorentz force, what happened is the electrons are accumulated or deflected towards the front surface, and hence there will be a separation of positive charged particles and negative charged particles, and there is a electric field which is known as Hall field is produced. Now, there is an Hall field because of the separation. Now, this Hall field is going to create its own electrostatic force. That force is known as Hall force, and the corresponding field is known as Hall field. If you see this equation number 2, E suffix S represents the Hall field, and corresponding force, electrostatic force, is known as Hall force. And this is equation number 2. In equation number 1, I have written just the magnitude of Lorentz force, that is E into Vx into By. So that means this Lorentz force is trying to apply force on electrons along positive z-axis, whereas the field produced because of separation of the charged particle, that is Hall field, is applied along negative z-axis. That means there will be a equilibrium where Hall field and where the Lorentz force and Hall force will be equal, because both are actually acting in opposite directions. This force is actually induced force, or this field is actually induced field. Now, if you see, the separation of charges within the semiconductor takes place until the Lorentz force is compensated by the Hall force. That means Fl is equal to Fh. At equilibrium, Fl is equal to Fh. If we substitute the magnitudes of these forces, we can write down Fl means Lorentz force is given by E into Vx into By is equal to minus E into Eh. Here you can write down the expression for Hall field, which is given by minus Vx into By. Now, if you see here, this Vx represents the velocity of the electron, which we have to convert into known quantities. So we already studied about the relation between current density and velocity in classical free electron theory of metals, or the Drude-Lorentz theory. So what is that? J is equal to NeV. Here I am writing the x component. So Jx is equal to Ne into Vx. From this we are writing the expression for Vx, that is Jx by Ne. N represents the density of electrons. And now let us say this equation number 4. If you substitute this equation number 4 in equation number 3, what we will get is, we will get an expression for Hall field in terms of known quantities, that is current density and magnetic field, that is minus Jx by Ne into By. Now if you see, this expression can also be rewritten as minus 1 by Ne into Jx into By. The term which is present in this bracket is known as Hall coefficient, which is represented by R suffix h. R suffix h is equal to minus 1 by E, which is known as Hall coefficient. And we have considered here the charged particles are electrons, hence we got RH value as negative. Similarly, if you consider the positive charged particle, then we can get here plus 1 by Ne. That means the sign of Hall coefficient represents the sign of the charged particles. On the other hand, if you know the value of Hall coefficient, you can actually determine the value of something called concentration of the charged particles in a semiconductor. That means the main objective of this Hall effect is to know the sign of the charged particle, similarly to calculate the concentration of charged particles within a given semiconductor. Now, what we have completed in today's classes, we have seen what do you mean by the Hall effect. Hall effect means if at all there is an current is flowing in a semiconductor, and if you apply magnetic field perpendicular to that current, then there will be a Lorentz force which will be mutually perpendicular to both magnetic field and current. Because of Lorentz force, there will be a separation of charged particle takes place, which produces some electric field. This electric field which is known as Hall electric field, and this Hall electric field is given by RH into Jx into By. Jx represents the current density, whereas By represents the magnetic field applied. RH represents the Hall coefficient. So, if your EH represents the Hall electric field which can be measured. So, by this expression you can actually determine the value of RH. How? RH is equal to EH divided by Jx into By. Jx is applied, we already know, and By represents the magnetic field applied, that also known, and we need to measure the value of EH so that we can actually calculate RH. What do you mean by RH? RH is equal to 1 over Ne. That means from measuring the value of Hall coefficient, one can actually determine the concentration of charged particles within the semiconductor. This is one way to calculate or to measure the concentration of charged particles. This is the important significance of Hall coefficient or Hall effect. In our next class, we are going to see some of the important applications of Hall effect. Thank you.